Hey there again. This is David. I'm going to take a little bit of your time. I hope that I don't take too much of your time. I'm going to try to talk as fast as I can because I do have quite enough information to leave with you. Something that's going to enhance your life, whosoever you are in America. If you're a United States citizen in America, regardless of your age, but I do have to give you this as a legal standpoint from compliance, as it were. If you're 18, you can take a part of this project. And I recommend if you're 18 years of age, you want to tell as many other 18-year-olds as possible to show them how they really want to take this advantage for themselves as well as their family and their elder families such as myself. Now, I have great grandchildren to give an idea of my age and to show you what I have done and what you can do as an advocate with Wealth Transfer Alliance. My phone number is there, and there's something I want to put in here, to just put a pin here to let you see my email. See, my email is moneyismyplan.b@gmail. Well, money is my plan B, but I have a plan A. God is my plan A. And I'm going to talk about him first before I get involved with my plan B. In red, you see down in under the all writing, you see all the red writing, right? Well, that's my plan A. God is my plan A, and I am an advocate, but I am the number, not the first advocate. You see, God is an advocate, and we have an advocate in the Father. Jesus Christ is righteous, and He is the propitiation for our sins, and not just our sins only, but for the sins of the world. So the whole world is what we're really talking about, but we're only talking about this particular software and technology that we're talking about here is just for Americans. Now, we probably will venture all over the world, but I'm not going to dwell on that right now. I'm just going to talk about what we do now here in America about things about us. You're going to see the products that the company has. You're going to see the career that you can have, and that's the most important point that I want to make, that the career that you can have, and how to contact us, and how to log into your own website. This is my website that we're talking about. What you see me on, and the golden opportunity for you is on my website. Where the golden opportunity that you're going to have and share with someone else is on your own personal website. That's what I want to emphasize to show you how important it is for you to get started in this process. Now we've got quite a long ways to go, so I'm going to move on and show you now. As an advocate, we participate in what we call Peak and Pass. That's the process that we get involved with Wealth Transfer Alliance, learning how to peak and pass. And we're going to get now, there are several ways to spell peak, as you will know: P-E-A-K, P-E-E-K, and P-I-Q-U-E. That's another way to spell peak. So, but now this particular peak here is for the understanding of someone else's use and what they want to do. It's the concern of someone else, what this peak is all about. Pique the interest of someone else. If you know that person's interest and that person share their interest with you, or you share your interest that you have with a person to see if that person has the same similar interest that you have, and you got several different things that you can share with that individual about your interest, which is going to afford it you now with the 3 steps you see down under W.T.A pay, where you're going to share those interests with an individual. And once you pick that person's interest, settlers like yours, and that person then go and get involved, such as you have with Wealth Transfer Alliance, that's all you do. That's all we do at an Advocate Wealth Transfer Alliance is we peak and pass. We don't sell anything. We don't ask anyone to buy anything. We don't try to recruit anyone, other than the fact that it's a different adjective that we're using, peak. And that peak is to seek someone's interest. And once you pique that person's interest, if it's similar to what you know you're talking about with that person, because you're sharing what you have already piqued, and you're sharing with that person what your interests are, and you have several different interests. And if that person has something similar to your interest, then that person now is a part of your operation. And you see on the screen that we're talking about here, and I put it here because this is all information. But will you? We're talking about you. Take the WTA pay opportunity. If so, if you will do it, why not then seriously consider a new career with wealth transfer alliance technology and your timely application of our step 1, 2, 3 steps. WTA career can yield a six-figure income for you. I said can read, or maybe a whole lot more than the six figures, and I can tell you that it will if you really apply yourself. That's the application as to how you're going to get involved of peaking and passing. All we're doing is peaking and passing. And if all different kinds of people have all different kinds of interests, WTA has all different kinds of people, products, process, and pay. That's what we'll talk about in a few minutes. But for instance, now we want you to concentrate on how you're going to get involved with Wealth Transfer Alliance. Well, it's simple. Just go to WTA-enrollment-form.com and enroll. And you're going to hopefully do that by the time this presentation is in. And then step 1, 2, 3 is what we're talking about. Step 1, you see, is for you to learn what the interests are that you have in your hand. You're going to learn how your interest is now afforded to you 5 or 6 different concerns that you have, 5 or 6 different interests that you have that you can share with someone else. And you share that with that person, and you can do it through video, you can do it through conversations, and we recommend that you do it step 2 through a Zoom process. Something like inviting an individual to a Zoom. It could be your Zoom, or it could be the corporate Zoom. And a corporate Zoom is, I'd recommend that for the first 3, 4, 2 weeks or so, that you recommend the persons or yourself to attend the corporate Zoom to get a real understanding of all 3 steps. But step 1 is the learning. Well, you're in the Zoom now, so that's step 1. And this is going to give you the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that you need to share the information that you've already learned with someone else. Step 2 is to earn. It teaches you how to earn the six-figure income that I keep talking about. That's the step 2, to learn how to earn the money that we're talking about through the process. I said money, but I should have said income. And then step 3 is you attend a class. The class is to show you how to use the tool that we are recommending this whole process is about. We're going to get into that as I go on. I'm not spending more time because you're going to see a duplication in my presentation. Now, again, we said that Wealth Transfer Alliance is an American-based company specializing in the following: the people, the process, the product, and the pay. That's what we specialize in, people. You are a person. We specialize in getting you the process of what we're talking about and the products that we have, which is you're going to peak and pass, and the pay that you're going to receive for peaking and passing. That's what we're talking about. And right to know right now, I put it here just to show you this is me talking. As any purge or person within the federal government in this time of this in our lifetime here in year 2025, the United States government is purging employees out of the government. Those persons' livelihood will not change unless they not take advantage of the opportunity. We're hoping that even those individuals that sit on their hand cannot do anything sitting on their hand, but if they just take the opportunity here that's being afforded under this golden opportunity for them to take hold of this wealth transfer alliance, then they would then too have an opportunity to show that anything they have financially is already in their hand. When God takes something out of your hand, He's going to put it back in tenfold because He is your advocate. God is your advocate, and you are an advocate now, hopefully, with Wealth Transfer Alliance. If you are purged or not purged, doesn't really matter. You can, anyone can do this, and you can do 2 or 3 things at the same time, walking through God, they say, all at the same time. And what we're talking about, if you get involved with the people, the process, the products, and the pay. And the pay is very rewarding. So are the products as well. Very rewarding for you. So we're going to go on through this presentation to show you. I keep underlining how you, first thing you do, step, is to enroll. You want to do that because if you don't enroll, then nothing that I'm saying is going to apply. If the only way you can use what I'm talking about is to enroll into the process of building yourself, building your esteem, building your home, building whatever it is you want through the process of wealth transfer alliance. Now I'm going to move on. I'm going to try to speed it up a little so that you won't take up too much of your time. But at the same time, you're going to see duplication in this process, just to show you the importance of you taking the steps that we're talking about. It's only four. The first one is to just enroll. So I don't consider that a step. But after you enroll, then there are three steps, and the three steps are for you to do that. I'm gonna talk about one now. First of all, I just put this back here again to show you that who your advocate is. But you're going to become an advocate at the top by enrolling. Once you enroll, then you're going to become the best advocate in America for what you have in your hand, because wealth transfer allowance opportunity is the best opportunity in America, and the products and everything that's involved with wealth transfer allowance is the best in America. And you're going to become the best advocate, a Pique and Pass advocate in America, the best Pique and Pass advocate in America, because it's a duplication process. Everyone that's involved with wealth transfer allowance is duplicating the wealth transfer allowance process. So it's a process of duplication. That's why I want you to see the duplication in this presentation. Now, on the right side, you see where wealth transfer allowance technology, District of Columbia. Well, the District of Columbia, for those who don't know, who may be new in the country, District of Columbia is the capital city of America, and each state of the United States got a capital city. Well, the capital city for the United States is the District of Columbia, and there are people talking about making it another state. I can't really, well, I'm not going to get involved there, but the District of Columbia is the capital city of the United States, and as the capital city, the persons that's in controlling the capital city has reduced the capital city budget by $1 billion. But it doesn't really matter, because now the capital city mayor and the leaders of the city can now open up avenues for the citizens of the District of Columbia to have wealth transfer allowance in their hand. And if they put wealth transfer allowance in their hand and take three steps that we are talking about, the duplication process that we're talking about here, peaking and passing. The duplication of peaking and passing is going to enhance those citizens of the nation's capital city to have just as much as a citizen in another within a state within the United States. So it won't prevent the citizens of the District of Columbia from having the wealth protection and the wealth in their hand that we've been presenting in this presentation. That's what you're going to consider when you see that. Now look, the process of duplication. I say, well, W.T.A. pay. You've seen this before. The three steps. Step one is learning. Step two is earning. Step three is a class. Here are the steps: earning, learning, earning, class. Learning, earning, class. Learning, earning, class. And you can't learn, or you can't earn or go to class if you don't enroll. Enroll is not a step. Enroll is you taking advantage of the opportunity, because once you enroll, you're going to see how your growth is going to enhance you. But at the same time, you're going to learn, you're going to earn, and you're going to have to go to, I would recommend you go to class so you can get an understanding of the process. And here is the Veterans Administration, for an example. The Veterans Administration going to show you how to peak and pass. Learn how to peak and pass. If you're a veteran and you've been disrupted with some of what's happening in our country today, then take advantage of the opportunity, not to think that by you having had change that it's going to hurt you. Change is going to help you, because God would not allow you to have lost without giving you something better. He's not that kind of God. God is everywhere at the same time. He's yesterday, today, and tomorrow all at the same time. So he knew when you came from the womb that you were going to be purged from the government. He knew that you may have lost your legs fighting for the country, or an eye, an arm, or whatever cause it is, in a mental state, or whatever cause it were that caused you as a veteran to be wounded for protecting me and all the other Americans in America who didn't go to the army, who listen to me, who did not go to the army or any other service, but have bone spurs and things like that. I'm a beggar. But those persons now are taking advantage of you, who have protected me and all the other Americans So it doesn't really matter. See, because God is going to give you tenfold of what you lost. He's going to protect you at all times. He said, ask him and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone who asketh, receiving, and he or she who seeketh will find it, and him and knock and shall be opened. So it doesn't really matter. God is in control of everything. So the pay that you're going to receive is God's given. And then the step that you take is for you to exercise your opportunity to do that, because God gives you the choice. And your choice is to accept it or not accept it. I'm recommending that you follow your advocate, which is God himself. I just told you that in the scripture, that God is your advocate. And as your advocate, he's going to give you whatever it is that you ask your advocate for. Just like you're an advocate here and you're passing on what's done as an advocate. You're not buying, selling, you're just passing the peek and pass. You peek and pass. Peek and pass. Your interest is past. Your interest is past. That's all we're doing is passing your interest. You pick the interest, and the word pique means to seek someone else's interest. So that person's interest is similar to yours. You pass it on to that person, and that person now has your interest in their hand, and they're going to do the same thing with your interest that you've done with it. And each one of you are going to be rewarded. And who's doing the rewarding? Your advocate. A weekly team meeting. What weekly team meeting? You notice TEAM does not have an I, so don't think of this as I'm doing this. This is we. We are all. Did I say we? We are all involved in this process. If you recommend 10 people, you and those 10 people are now having involvement. And the next 10 people have the same type of peak and pass. The next people are gonna do the same thing, peak and pass. The next 10 are gonna do the same thing, peak and pass. What 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 is your reward for peaking it, for passing it. Your reward is to peak it 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, and your reward to come back 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. You can see what I'm saying? So you can't lose, because all we're talking about are people. Remember, right? People. That's what we're talking about. The process, right? The products, right? And the pay. That's all talking about. Well, the pay is really not a step, because you now have got a direct deposit in your bank account, and you're just relaxing, and all you're doing is peeking and passing. You continue to peek and pass, and every time you peek the interest, you pass it. Every time you peek the interest, you pass it. Every time you peek an interest, you pass it, and someone else is going to be rewarded by you doing that. Moving on, taking up too much time. Here is a weekly schedule. This is how this process works. The weekly schedule shows you, but it's just to show you how you put this in your mind to know that I got to do something tomorrow, so I'm not going to schedule anything for that time tomorrow, or the day after I got to do something, and that time is already scheduled. I have it on my calendar, and I'm not going to let this or that take it out of my way, because if it does, then my peaking and passing is going to be affected. My peaking and passing bank account is going to be affected. Now look, remember, this is a reminder. What we're talking about is a living trust estate plan. That's one of the major interests that everybody has. Everybody have an interest, and if you don't take advantage of the interest that you have, there's a system called probate. And we're going to be talking about probate in a minute to show you how probate takes things out of your hand, your estate, and put it on probation. Yeah, your home, your living, your car, your money in the bank, your jewelry in your arm, jewelry in the back. It's a process of being processed and given to someone else if you don't use the peak and pass process that we talk about. You don't want to be interrupted. So you want to make sure that you have a weekly meeting on your at the top it says weekly schedule link below. What a weekly schedule link below is for you to go to WTA enrollment form .com. That's what we're talking about. WTA enrollment form.com. And that's the link for you to have that link in your hand. Share it everywhere you go. Share it everywhere you go, because when you do, you're going to benefit from the process. I'm moving on. A duplication. The duplication is on the left. But on the right is to show you that this department of our government purged some of the employees. Some of the employees lost their job, and some of the employees may not have wanted to lose their job. There are some may have retired to keep from being fired. I don't know. But yet still, what I'm asking you to do is consider peaking and passing tool that's used and become an advocate for peaking and passing, or become a peace and passing advocate, if I said another way. And the class that we're talking about here is just 1, 2, 3 steps after you enroll. Enroll first, take the steps, and then your pay will get bigger because we are not guaranteeing anything. We just say your opportunity for you to have a six-figure income is very, very short if you don't sit on your hand. And I mean by that, if you sit on your hand, you can't eat because you're sitting on your hand. You can't get your hand from under what you while you're sitting on your hand, and you can't put food in your mouth. But if you get up off your hands and put this process into work here, you're gonna be so busy until you won't be able to receive what the windows of heavens has poured up on you. God promised you that He will open up the windows of heaven. Now you got to keep look at His contract. It's not just just because you're so beautiful and this and that. You got to stick to the contract. Is because the contract is with the advocate. Where here as an advocate, you have to sign a contract to be an advocate with Wealth Transfer Alliance. It's not a what I mean by that is something that compliance contract. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't say this, you can't say that. It's a compliance contract. You can't buy and entice people. That's one of the compliance contracts with W.T.A. You can't do that. You can't promise someone something. We can't do it because you're not that. All you're doing is becoming an advocate to Pique and Pass. You are a Pique and Pass advocate. And if you ever forget that, it's something that you can't see. So as an advocate, you're going to enroll to Pique and Pass. And then you're going to start peeking and passing to take the 3 steps. The 3 steps will keep showing you the 3 steps to show them. 1 is to learn, 2 is to earn, 3 is a class. Those are the 3 steps. The class is going to continue. The class is going to continue because more information comes in, new products come in through the company. So what the company is doing to enhance you, the company is always sharing information, and that's a class. The company always sharing information for you to learn. The company is always sharing information for you to earn. It doesn't stop because you are the Pique and Passing advocate, and the Pique and Passing advocate is going to get rewarded for peaking and passing. Moving on with Wealth Transfer now. Now this is a simple tool, and this is the tool here to just show you the simplicity of marketing. But the company does all the marketing. Wealth Transfer Alliance, you see at the top, to know transfer and to know wealth, to know transfer and know wealth. Well, they are the marketing experts for you how to know transfer. They are the marketing experts for you to know how to know wealth. And the wealth comes through the process of using the tools that Wealth Transfer Alliance is using for you as a Peak and Pass advocate. You're the W.T.A. Peak and Pass advocate using the tools that Wealth Transfer Alliance is showing you how to use, and all you're doing in using the tools are Peak and Passing, because Peak and Passing has a growth process for the tools. The tools never stop coming, and but all you're doing is peaking and passing. And as an advocate, you're going to move information through your uh, process of peaking and passing. Okay, here showing it again on the corporate employee benefit payroll tax initiative. This is something that you do not want to pass, but this is a tool. This is a tool or product that the Wealth Transfer Alliance use for you to earn money. All you do is take the interest of the person, the corporation, who may have 5,000 employees or 500 employees or 5 employees. It doesn't really matter because this corporation with 5 employees is trying to make a dent just like, and when I say that, meaning something for people, just like the corporation that are 5,000 employees. But nevertheless, the payroll for both persons, the small and the great, can have corporate benefits payroll initiative. And we're going to get into that, we meaning you and I, when the process for your learning, for your earning, and for your class. Okay, now here again, it's on the right side, the same thing that I just left, but on the left side, I'm just showing you the 3 steps. So it's the process of duplication. And that's what Wealth Transfer Alliance does on a weekly basis, is to give you an education, to give you all the information, to give you the knowledge, to give you the wisdom, the understanding, and the products to show that they're using, adding new products all the time. And sometimes they're at a product that has less or more value than some of the products they have a $6 billion yearly income, and that company want to share with you part of their 6 billion. Just like the Wealth Transfer Alliance is a company that want to share with you how the government benefits going to help you, how the employer benefits going to help you, how the employee benefits will help the employer benefits, and how HR department benefits will help everybody. So all of it come together, just like the wheel in a watch, or like the wheels in a clock. It's all, if one of them fall off, the time is gone. But here, if you just come into Wealth Transfer Alliance and do what they're teaching all of us to do, then you're going to process it. Now look, I'm going to slow down now. This is Harvard University. We're looking at the place where Wealth Transfer Alliance technology were born over 30 years ago. But one of the students that was a classmate of our former president, Barack Obama, is one of the students that helped develop the legal minds to put together the technology and the software that we're using to show you how to earn a 6-figure income or 7-figure income or even more. It all depends on you not sitting there on your hands. But now make sure you visit the website that you see, give me your attention, and that's all I'm asking you for is your attention. And when you go to give me your attention, you're gonna meet you're gonna meet the CEO of Wealth Transfer Alliance, and he's showing you step by step how to use the software that's been developed through the technology of Harvard University Law School. The law school at Harvard University developed this legal software that'll enable you to have a 6, 7-figure income simply by sharing it through the process of teaching and passing. And you got to learn all of that, but it's so simple that it's too simple to learn because you're not gonna believe that, oh, I've been missing this all these years. If you're 18 to 19 years old, you want to start now. So by the time you're 25 or 30, you may have an income that will not afford you to continue to do what you have thought you were gonna do getting out of high school. Now, this company here specializes in what we talk about law. This is a law firm, largest law school and the best law school in the world, right here in the place we call America. And the attorneys there for this law school developed the software that we're talking about and using the technology that Wealth Transfer Alliance is using to show you how to set up a revocable living trust and get paid daily, every day. Your pay goes up and it's going to be more than the position or the pay that you're receiving when you got purged from the government. Your pay can be more on a daily basis of what you are earning weekly in the job. God always gives you something better. He's not going to take something from you and give you something worse unless you to carry yourself in a manner for him to do that. Now, he will chastise you if you have not done what he asked you to do. So when you ask for it, it has to be in his line. Now, he knows what you're going to ask for before you do it. He knows your thoughts before you think them. He knows your hair on your head. He knows everything. So, then he knows your heart because he lives in your heart. See, that's what we don't understand sometimes. We don't understand that God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit lives inside of everybody. That's why he wants me to love my neighbor as I love myself. I have to love my neighbor as I love myself. I can't love myself and then go and take my neighbor and send them somewhere that he's never been or have any reason to do it. I have to love myself. I have to love my neighbor as I love myself. So the neighbor come first. I can't love myself and then go and tell my neighbor I love you. If I don't really love myself, I can't tell my neighbor that I love you. If I don't love my neighbor first, I can't tell my neighbor anything about love because I don't love my neighbor. So I have to love my neighbor first. The neighbor comes first, America. America, the neighbor comes first. I can't go to my neighbor and do something disruptive to my neighbor, America. I can't do that as an American. I can't go to, or let's just pick Mexico. I can't go to Mexico, my neighbor, and do something that I don't want my neighbor to do to me. I have to love my neighbor as I love myself, Canada. Anyway, that's what I'm talking about. I'll move on. What I did on that? Okay, moving on. Moving on. I'm stopped kids by here to tell you to go to givemeyourattention.com. And then also, what you want to do is enroll. WTA-enrollmentform.com. Just see it on the screen. Stop the video, go and enroll, and then come back, and you're going to see what I'm talking about now. Again, my income tax video. You're going to go to my income tax video. Let me put you a I am an accountant. I am graduated with a BS degree in accounting and business administration. Then I worked for a few years, and then I went back and worked on the master's in accounting. And then after getting through the school, the master's in accounting, I went and then to take CPA review courses. I took CPA review courses at two different universities, and on the Saturday, I just had about 24 semester hours in CPA review. Then I went and set for the CPA. Then I came after the setting for the CPA exam. Then I come out and got studied for a master's in management information system. So that's the background of what I'm saying. That's why I'm using this to show you that my income tax video. Go to my income tax video, and you're gonna get an education of what on my income tax video is talking about. You being an independent business owner, and you're gonna become an independent business owner as soon as you enroll at W.T.A. enrollment form. Then you instantly become an independent business, and as an independent business, you're gonna operate your business is for you to show other people in America how to avoid a $66 billion probate, because the probate court is estimating, or the probate system in America is estimating that $66 billion will be in the hand of the probate court by the end of 2025. Well, let's surprise them. You get involved and you won't have anything going into the probate court because it will now be in your hand and in your bank. Here, it's happening. It's really happening. And all you got to do is let it come to you. All you got to do, you see, you left something behind. You didn't know that God had something for you on a daily basis, just like it were when you were working. It's going to be more. More of us going to come. He said more of us going to come. It's just that way. That's how God is. He takes care of because he's an advocate and an affiliate. But I can't really talk about an affiliate because the affiliate cannot do what I do. An affiliate can Pique and pass, but I get paid 10 ways. And an advocate at the Wealth Transfer Alliance can have an income coming from 10 different ways. An affiliate can't. So that's why I can't talk about it. I can only talk about the advocate because I am on an advocate, and I'll see you at the top in the advocate if you just follow the information that you see on the screen and enroll. Okay, now look, here is a government approved initiative. IRS, ACA, HIPAA, ERISA, all of these are means for you to earn. Just look, call or visit 1301-328-4186.com. It's a website. Go there and it's going to talk about it. It's a video, and that video will explain what you see on the screen. Okay, it's a video, but I just took the video and put it in a position so you can get an understanding of what we're talking about. So you can then peek and pass. So all this is a process of peeking and passing. You don't buy, sell, or convince, recruit. All you're doing is peeking and passing. Even this process is peeking and passing. All you gotta do is just get the understanding. Okay, now look, here again, I'm concluding this now because this is a way for you to understand what we're talking about, beginning and the end. But what I'm talking about is from the end, being a person that's going to transition or pass away and go on to the Lord's other assignment that God has for that individual. But at the same time, an individual have unborn children. I have grandchildren. I have great grandchildren, and I'm anticipating on before life in for me that I have great-great-grandchildren, if you hear what I'm saying. So, and my great-great-grandchildren, just my grandchildren, my great-children, my children, all of them are going to be left with what we're talking about here. I can then take, before I transition, I can take and put my IRA into my revocable living trust. Now my IRA is going to gain more in my revocable living trust if it would be outside the trust. But if it's in the trust, it'll gain more. We'll talk about that. You see, that's something that you got to know to know. In other words, I want to talk about this whole process here is for you to avoid the probate court. On the left side is telling you, showing you the probate court. On the right side is showing you an individual, that's me, myself and I, showing you how I have now in taking myself and put myself in a position, in other words, this use the technology, the software, and the technology to run a revocable living trust using the software that I have now after enrolling into Wealth Transfer Alliance. I want you to know that. So yes, I am an advocate, yes, and I also have the technology that the Harvard Law School put for me to get. And I'm going to show you that in a few minutes, just to show you here the picture. Let you see a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, look at the second picture from the right past the probate. If you go to probate and you are living, the probate is going to have your information. And should you transition, the probate is still going to hold on to your information. And your estate is going up in value, just increasing in value. As long as the probate court is holding, it's going up in value. And then your siblings, your loved ones, or whoever it is you want your access, your estate to go to, it'll go. But look at the condition that it may be in after the probate court gets all of what they want out of the 66 billion for 2025. Then look at the living will advance directives where you are, where your estate is. See, this is you in the center, probate court on the left, you next to the probate court. Then your estate is still in the hands of the probate court. But look at what you could have had. You wouldn't had to do anything with probate court because it would have been in the citizen living will and directive. I mean, advance directive. That's you. And then this is you over here. This is your family, still living, and I'm still living. So I'm just showing you all the steps of the process. Now I've probably taken up too much of your time. I've been almost 40 minutes. This is a internal revenues matter. I have an accountant now, and tax is one of my I specialize in the tax. This is a Schedule C, where your business and your business expenses and your products go into your expenses for your business. The income, I put the information up there to show you that your bank statements have all the information on it that you need to know about your income. The income that you make goes into part one. See, part one, I put all zeros there, and I covered up the matter in part one because that's you, and you're behind all of this. And all of your income goes into part one. And part two is where you start taking out the expenses because the first thing you see is advertising. You see, these are expenses. Part two are expenses. And you're running a wealth transfer alliance, Pique and Pass advocate building business. You're running a Pique and Pass wealth transfer alliance advocate, Pique and Pass building business. And as the building business, all of your income goes up there in part one. Part two is where you put your business building expenses, starting at two, and it goes all the way down to five. You see what five is? That's all the whole process. And what you've done now is put down the expenses, and expenses is minus the income. If the expenses and the internal revenue do tell us that they recommended us to wait 5 years before we do some profit, but that's what the internal revenue expectation is. By me getting up off of my hand, not sitting on my hand, I perhaps can do a little better than that. I don't know, but I'm going to try to do better than that for 5 years. So I have a profit to build more wealth, to build more assets, put more assets into my revocable living trust. I can put more assets into my revocable living trust. The more I put into my revocable living trust, the bigger my trust become. And when I do expire, now all of my great children, my grandchildren, my children, my great grandchildren, all now can have part of my trust. That's you I'm talking about. But this is a Schedule C that the Internal Revenue allow you to use as a this. Now, there's other different schedules. This is for 1040. There's also 1041. There's also a 1065. 1065 has different kind of schedules. 10, 10, 11, 20 have different kind of schedules. And we're talking about this because most of us are sole proprietors, and in other entities, we can become other entities that we can use. And we'll talk about that if you give me a call. My phone's almost there, and we can talk. All right, I'm going to move on to show you. I just want to stop by here to show you we're almost at the end of the process. Now watch this. This is the government's approved initiative, and my phone number is there for you to call. But my income tax video is going to, it's a video. The video is a video explaining what the government approved initiatives can do for you as a Peak and Pass advocate with W.T.A. You are a W.T.A. Peak and Pass advocate. W.T.A. Peak and Pass advocate. And if you tell someone that don't know what W.T.A. is about, and you tell someone what you do as a W.T.A. Peak and Pass advocate, the person is not going to understand. And then you pique the interest of that individual. And once you pique the interest of that individual, you know your products has an interest for that individual. Your products have the interest. The process, you're going to take the process now and use the process to explain to that person. I'm not going to go too far on this. I'm almost at the end. Matter of fact, I am at the end. This is the end of the presentation because we now have come to the conclusion of the presentation. I can't tell you a lot about the right side, but I can tell you this for you to understand that the right side said personal producer opportunity, earn direct commissions, and personal sales bonus pool qualification only. Sales and marketing tools will train that and support. So W.T.A. training, support training for an advocate to what? Sell. You want to become an advocate, a W.T.A. Peak and Pass advocate at $4.95, tax deductible. It's the next business expense, startup expense for your business. And as a Peak and Pass advocate building business, all of the expenses that we talked about at the Schedule C are now on your business. Now, we started the business, say, in April of 2025. Well, your business expenses that you incurred in 2024 can only be used for 2024. That's why it's so important for you to talk to your accountant. And if you don't have an accountant, my phone number is there. And I can tell you and show you how you now can take your 2024 bank statements and use them to reduce your liability for 2024 because your expenses that you incurred in 2024 cannot be used for only 1 year, and that's 2024. And in conclusion of this, I thank you in the name of Jesus for you letting me spend so much valuable time with you. What you see on the screen is, I'm so glad I'm ending this, but what you see on the screen is the process for what you're going to have in starting this golden ticket. You get the golden ticket. The golden ticket is an opportunity for you to enroll and take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you in the name of Jesus for watching this. I thank you, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.